knelt out on the highway late one afternoon and said goodbye forever to my mother. I didn't cry when they carried her away. I couldn't cry. For 5 hours in the hospital, I prayed for God to save her. But He didn't. As the years passed, I thought I knew everything there was to know about suffering. I resigned to follow God's path wherever it might take me, but I never dreamed what valleys lay over the horizon. For as I was to learn, it's one thing to live without something you love that God has taken from you, but it's much harder to learn to live with something that you wish you would take away. My dad was getting married again. I remember the day he told me, and I remember exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to run. Run so far away that this pain would never find me. I had already seen God's purpose in taking my mother, but after He brought this into my life, I began to doubt whether He even loved me at all. Moments of anger bred days of bitterness that grew into years of hatred. I didn't hide my feelings from my new mother. I told her that she was not my mother, that she never was, that she never would be. I thought my feelings would go on forever, but God had other plans. In the second trimester of my stepmother's pregnancy, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. The doctor recommended an immediate abortion, but that was impossible. Was I devastated? My heart was so hardened I couldn't even pray for her. Even when I thought that the 2 small children she and my father had brought into the world would be left without a mother. Then one night, an old preacher came to church. I think it was the last message he ever gave. He spoke of years of pain that brought about decades of bitterness, and how a lack of forgiveness led him to abuse his wife. I'll never forget how he ended the story.
I stood there by the fire thinking about my wife. I had hurt her so bad I knew she would never come back. Then suddenly I heard a key turn in the lock. I felt her soft footsteps behind me. She wrapped her arms around me. Her tiny form was shaking like a leaf. But her voice was strong as she told me she loved me, and I promised God she would never leave me. No matter what I did, she told me she would always be there. She said that she could forgive me only because Jesus had forgiven her. That was the night I asked Jesus to be my Savior.
When he was finished, tears were streaming down my face. I asked God to forgive me for hating him by rejecting his will for my life. I cried out with all my heart for him to bless and heal my mom. Suddenly, where there was only coldness, God gave me genuine love. He gave me both a peace with my first mother's death and a gratefulness for my new mother. Two days after this, we got a doctor's report. They were reconsidering the diagnosis. That spring, when the baby was born, the diagnosis was confirmed. God had completely healed my stepmother. But he healed so much more than that. He healed my heart.